Another positive day here on the channel for our MLB Best Bets. A 4-1 day, looking for more of the same today here on Wednesday, August 13th. We've got some early games today. We still got some night games. We got you covered throughout the day here for our MLB Best Bets. And before we start the video, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. On Greedo Plays MMA this week, we've got our UFC 319 predictions, Dricus du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev in the main event. And we've also got our PFL number 9 here in 2025 predictions, Alfie Davis, Gadzi Rabadanov in the main event for the lightweight championship. So go make sure to check out both those videos. Go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA as well if you have not yet, along with this channel you're watching this video on, as we get on to the first of our 5 best bets, kicking things off with our Washington Nationals best bet. So yesterday we had the same exact team total over for the Kansas City Royals. The line was set at 4.5 for Kansas City. It was at minus 130 against Mitchell Parker and the Washington Nationals. And obviously the Royals cleared that mark. They scored 8 runs yesterday against the Washington Nationals. We expect them to do it again today. I won't go too in depth about the Nationals yesterday just because I don't really feel like talking about that crap game. Robert Hassel makes the play of the game by robbing a Randall Grichuk home run. Mitchell Parker still sucks. That's what we knew was going to happen. James Wood hit a baseball 119 miles an hour off the bat, which is crazy for a hit. But anyways, he's back fully. But Mitchell Parker is not a major league pitcher, at least as a starter. And I'm going to continue to unfortunately have to fade the Nationals for as long as that guy is starting for our team. We need to move him to the bullpen, and we need to do it immediately. Anyways, today I'm going to do the same exact thing. I don't think Jake Irvin is nearly as bad as Mitchell Parker. I understand Irvin has had his fair share of really bad nights. So that's why I'm still going with the team total over for the Royals. I don't think it's as much of a gimme. Obviously, the odds somewhat reflect that. Yesterday, we had minus 130 for this play. Now we have minus 125 for this play. Again, it just makes sense. I mean, Jake Irvin's ERA is 4.9. Hell, Mitch Parker's ERA is 5.6 this season, but Irvin hasn't been great. I mean, no, he hasn't been good, actually. I mean, look at Parker's ERA in the month of July was 4.55, and that includes a really good start in his home state of Minnesota. Since that start in Minnesota, the homecoming for Jake Irvin, oh my goodness. August 2nd against the Brewers, 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. The Giants, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 4 runs. I mean, that just can't happen. It's the San Francisco Giants. The Giants are atrocious, and we're going to talk about them in just a few moments here. But we detail Giants games all the time and their ability to not hit the baseball, and, well, they rocked Jake Irvin. So Irvin's ERA over 2 starts in the month of August so far is 7.71. Somehow he has a winning record, 8-7. The Nationals actually do score him a lot of runs. Hell, I was at a game in Anaheim where Jake Irvin gave up 9 runs, and his team won him the game 15-9. I mean, hell, Jake Irvin got a win against the Tigers where the Nats scored 11 runs for him. There's a game against the Reds where he gave up 6 runs or 5 runs in 3 innings, and the Nats won the game 10-8. It's weird. So that's why I'm not going to go Royals money line at all. I know Lugo's pitching for them, and will they likely win today? Probably. But there's no reason to take the Royals today when we can just go team total over for the Nationals at minus 125. Jake Irvin alone is probably going to give up 4-ish runs probably. And then, oh, here come the mighty Nationals bullpen. There is, not a doubt in my mind that they're not going to give up at least 1 run. Because, again, a good start for Irvin is 3 runs. Let's just be honest. That's what that is for Irvin at this point in time. I have no trust in the Nationals bullpen that they're going to be able to shut down the Kansas City Royals. And it's not like the Royals are some juggernaut offensively. Oh, they're not. But it's look at the way this series has been played so far. Cade Cavalli did all right until they, threw him back out there for a 6th inning, and obviously it did not go his way. Bullpen has been bad in every game so far of this series. Yesterday, Mitch Parker gets blown up a little bit. Obviously, the bullpen gives up runs as well. I hate it, man. I hate being an Nats fan. They look so good in San Francisco over the weekend, and now they come to Kansas City, and they're absolutely atrocious. So we're going to go with the over total runs today for the Royals at 4.5, and it's just an overall pitching problem for the Washington Nationals. It just is. I mean, I don't want to go too far into this, but there was an article that came out, I think it was an interview that Kyle Finnegan did with a local Detroit reporter where he said that it's adapt or die in the game of baseball now. He said that the Tigers pitching coaches and staff has identified things in his game, and that's why he's now throwing way more splitters and not as many fastballs. Finnegan's fastball has always been good, 97, 98, but he's thrown a million splitters now, and Finnegan said it himself, well, maybe that's why the Tigers brought me over here. I'm embracing these changes, and he's trusting it. Well, look at what Kyle Finnegan's done so far as a member of the Detroit Tigers. 4 1/3 innings, and he's given up 1 hit in 4 1/3 innings. We used to joke all the time with Kyle Finnegan in DC, and we loved the guy for it. He would always have to put a guy on base for his appearance and his closing bid to finally get going, right? There'd have to be a guy on base, and then, okay, now Finnegan can lock in and get the save. Oh, he's not doing that anymore, and Finnegan's striking out way more guys than he ever has. Finnegan's striking out guys way more. 6 strikeouts in 4 innings for Finnegan. That's really good because this is a guy who'd average less than a strikeout per inning with the Nationals. He was our pitch to contact, our ground ball pitcher closer who usually got the job done. Finnegan has done an amazing job so far in Detroit. He's notched 3 saves, and he hasn't given up a single run. ERA is now sub 4 for Kyle. Obviously, ERA is 0 in total for Kyle Finnegan. And don't get me wrong, I'm so happy for Kyle Finnegan. I want the Tigers to win the World Series. What I'm pissed about, though, is that the Nationals are still in the Stone Age when it comes to our technology and just our advancements in the game of baseball, where we can't figure stuff like this out. Kyle Finnegan's splitter is much better than at least the Nationals thought it is, and look how well he's pitching for Detroit. It just annoys me, again, that we were the last team to get torpedo bats when that was a big, thing, obviously, whatever with that, but we are just so behind in everything, and obviously we don't spend money either, but that's not a coaching thing. I just don't understand. I want the entire coaching staff gone with the exception of Sean Doolittle and Gerardo Parra. They can stay because 2019. There's still a place in my heart for that. The rest of the guys, get them out of here. Cairo, gone. Hickey, gone. Cole's, gone. Get them all out of here. Anyways, shout out to Kyle Finnegan. I'm glad he's playing great baseball. But I can't stand the Nationals. Royals team total over 4.5 runs. Okay. On to our second best bet of the video. All right, hear me out. I've done this once all year long, where we've gone to a minus 150 odds for anything. I hate doing it. I don't like playing minus 150, but I'll tell you now, there aren't any good money lines today, except for the final one I have at the very end of the video. For as much as I'll tell you my thought process today with all these games. There's a lot of games today where there are teams at plus money or underdogs with good starting pitching on the mound, but their bats have just been horrible and they're playing good teams. The examples of this are Trevor Rogers for the Orioles against the Mariners. Who's the other one? Main one. Oh, Joe Ryan against the Yankees and Yuri Perez against the Guardians. I can't trust the Marlins right now. I can't trust the Twins to go into the Bronx and win and avoid being swept. And I sure as hell cannot trust the Baltimore Orioles to beat the red-hot Seattle Mariners. So I don't like, especially with Logan Gilbert pitching for Seattle. So none of those I liked. And then I'm not taking Texas at minus 150 against the D-backs. And the other one I was looking at was the Angels against the Dodgers, because the Angels own the Dodgers. They won 5 in a row against them. But Kyle Hendricks is pitching. I hope the Angels win, and I thought about going plus 1.5 for Anaheim, but I'm going to stay away from it. So instead, we're stuck with this. Now, I've only done this once all year where we've taken minus 150 on a single team. It was the Angels at home against the Miami Marlins. They won the game like 8-5 or something. They won it fairly easily at home. So we cashed it. And I said it earlier in the year, I think that was like in June. I said I only will ever go to minus 150 if there's something I absolutely love. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm taking the Padres to beat the Giants on the road. I'm hoping this line dips a little bit. I'm hoping we get it at minus 140 by, again, I'm recording this video actually pretty early today. I'm recording at 11:30 at night. You're seeing this again anywhere from 5 in the morning all the way until the games start, obviously. This game starting at 12:45 in San Francisco. So I'm hoping the line drops a little bit. If it goes the other way, whoops, that sucks. But I would play it at minus 150. I don't see a world where the Padres lose today. And I get it. Oh, it's baseball. They play 162 games a year. Sure. Look at the pitching matchup. Nick Pavetta's been great recently. Kai Wang Tang's going for the Giants. He was effective. I'll give him that. He was effective against the Nationals. They used an opener. They used Matt Gage to open the game, and maybe they'll do that again. And then they brought Kai Wang Tang in for innings 2 through 6. The Nationals won that game 5-0. So, let's give the Giants won 5-0. I don't know why I thought that was a Saturday game. Still, though, the Padres aren't the Nationals. And Nick Pavetta's going. And Pavetta's been really good. Last start against the Red Sox wasn't, but prior to that start, the guy was phenomenal in the month of July. Completely shut down 1.17 ERA. The start he had against the St. Louis Cardinals early in August was great as well. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 run. Again, Nick Pivetta has been very solid. So I would just take the Red Sox start with a grain of salt, honestly. 2.94 ERA in the season for Pivetta. He should be all right. And, well, every pitcher's all right against the San Francisco Giants. They still don't hit the baseball. It looked like yesterday, the Giants were going to get going. They got on the board really early in the bottom of the first inning. They had bases loaded at one point, and they only get out of that inning with 1 run. It was a Wilmer Flores infield single with an expected batting average of like 0.002. It's fine. The Padres won the game 5-1 because the Giants, again, are incapable to hit the baseball. Incapable of hitting the baseball, English. Nestor Cortez goes 4 2/3, 6 hits, 1 run. Good outing as a whole for him. And now the Padres, again, have won the first 2 games of the series. San Diego's won 4 of 6 so far this year against the San Francisco Giants. And who's to say they won't do it again? I mean, why wouldn't they? Again, I think, again, if Pivetta was facing a good team coming off that Red Sox start, if he was facing a Phillies, if he was facing a Milwaukee Brewers team, or obviously the Los Angeles Dodgers, then you would be a little concerned, obviously. But the thing is, he's facing the San Francisco Giants with a bunch of guys who can't hit. Rafael Devers, again, had hit, 3 home runs in 4 games, didn't hit one yesterday. He might hit another one. What's going to happen at the rest of this lineup? Casey Schmidt was great yesterday, but Casey Schmidt was hitting the 2 spot because of Nestor Cortez. Casey Schmidt's not going to be batting that high in the lineup against a righty. He's just not, right? Drew Gilbert, I mean this in the least disrespectful way possible. I'm so serious. The Nationals. Giants fans treat Drew Gilbert like he's a Make-A-Wish kid, okay? I was in attendance for Drew Gilbert's first 4 professional baseball games in the MLB. They treated him like a Make-A-Wish kid. It was so crazy. Like, Drew Gilbert would make a routine would catch a routine pop-out, and these fans would be like, yeah, way to go, kid, yeah. I was just like, I've been to debuts before. They treat nobody like that. I was like, I don't know. It was so odd. Like, I don't know, man. It is what it is. But it was just like, yeah, Drew Gilbert would make a routine catch in right field, and these fans, and they did a "Let's Go Drew" chant at the plate. I mean, that's cool for the guy. Okay, I was at Tyler Fitzgerald's debut way back when, or at least home debut. I don't know if it was an MLB debut. And they didn't treat Tyler Fitzgerald like that. So, it's just anyways. I look at this game, and it's just, the Giants are going to be able to hit Nick Pivetta, and the Padres will be able to do a lot, I believe, against Kai Wang Tang. I don't trust anything the Giants are doing. They've lost 4 consecutive games, and they've looked horrible in 4 consecutive games. They lose to the Nationals. They lose the Nationals twice. They lose the Padres twice now, and I think, yes, they're going to get swept against San Diego. And yes, I rarely would ever play -150 unless I love it. I really like this. Padres are hot right now. Nando's hitting the ball better in this series. Machado obviously hitting the ball well. Ramon Laureano might be, that Orioles trade might be the trade of the deadline for the Padres. Obviously not just getting Ryan O'Hearn, but getting Ramon Laureano as well. Ooh, man, I keep saying it. Padres are going to be really tough to beat in the playoffs. I still think the Phillies might get them. I don't know. I think it's Padres, Phillies, NLCS, and yes, the Dodgers are going to lose before that. That team is not good, and the Padres are probably going to win the West. Okay? Just saying. Padres are going to get the 3 seed. It's going to be a great postseason. I'm legitimately very excited for it. Wait, we could get Padres Phils in the NLCS instead. Anyways, the winner of that Padres Phillies series is probably winning the World Series in my opinion. Or I hope the Tigers win, but anyways. Padres -150. Okay. On to our third best bet of the video. We move to our best player prop of the day. Here he is, Bryce Harper. This is still, I believe, a top 5 player in baseball. If Bryce Harper wasn't injured, didn't get injured this season, he'd have 35 home runs, I think. Maybe 30. And he'd be on pace for potentially a 40 home run year this year. I think we just need to take into account how long this guy's been injured, and now he's already up to 18 home runs. Harper's going to finish the year with at least 25. Maybe, I doubt he gets to 30. Maybe he gets to 30. He could. Bryce could finish the year with 30 home runs, and he was out for a fourth of the season. I don't think we're talking about how great a season this guy's having. Average is down. It's at 260, sure. Harper, 18 home runs, though, 50 RBI. This guy goes yard yesterday. I know, again, it was a garbage time home run. There were 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning, and Bryce Harper went lefty-lefty and killed a baseball out into deep right field, cutting the lead. It was the Chris Paul cuts the lead to 20 type moment, right? They were down 6-1. Harper hits a solo shot. Okay. Bryce has cleared this line, though, in 3 straight games. Yesterday hits a home run, Monday had a double against the Reds, and Sunday had a double against the Texas Rangers. Bryce is hitting the ball really well. Average is down, honestly, in the month of August. It's 211. But Harper's hitting for more power, though, than he has all year long. I mean, most of Bryce's hits so far in the month of August are not singles, they're homers, they're doubles, they're driving guys in. Bryce has been really effective so far, at least power-wise in the month of August. Average is down, but I expect that to clear itself up as the season goes on. Hunter Green's going today for the Reds. And you'd think, okay, that might be a difficult matchup. It might be. Hunter Green's been out, though, since early June. I don't know what Hunter Green's going to be like in his first game back. That's why I thought about going Phil's money line today, especially with Christopher Sanchez in the mound. But minus 145, it's not good enough for me. I don't like that. If this was like minus 130, I'd take it. Minus 145, I don't see the value in that. I still like the value more out of Padres minus 150. Okay. Anyways, I don't know what Hunter Green's going to be like in his first game back. And I think what we saw at a Green pre-injury wasn't great. He'd go like 5 innings, give up a couple runs, but he wasn't going more than 5. I mean, the last start that Green had that was more than 5 innings was on May 2nd against the Washington Nationals, because of course it was against the Nationals. He had 12 strikeouts. Oh, I remember being so mad watching. I think I was at. No, I wasn't at. Never mind. That game sucked. Okay, that game was atrocious. I believe Gore was going that night too, wasn't he? No, it was Mitch. Of course, it was Mitch. Yikes. Oh man. Anyways, back when the Nats were only 5 games under. I think Bryce is going to be able to really be effective in this Hunter Green spot tonight. Just because, again, I don't know what Hunter Green's going to be like in his first start back. Bryce Harper is still one of the best hitters in baseball, and no one's telling me otherwise. You look at that home run last night. He's hitting the ball hard. Career-wise, Bryce Harper versus Hunter Green, there is no matchup. It is, these guys have never squared off, which actually is a little surprising, to be honest. They've never faced off against each other. Really? I guess Bryce has probably just been her. Well, Green's usually, it's interesting. They've just missed each other. Okay. Green in his first start back, I don't think it goes well for him. I expect Bryce Harper. I don't know. I think he goes yard again. I think he does, especially, look at the way the Phillies lost yesterday. This lineup is destined to turn around today. They're too good to not win this game. I feel pretty confident that they will, especially with Christopher Sanchez on the mound. So they're going to have to put up runs, right? They're going to have to go out there. They're going to have to score. Yeah, I could have gone Kyle Schwarber. I could have gone Trey Turner. I believe in Harper in this spot, especially because he was the only guy to get going yesterday. I think he takes that 9th inning home run yesterday in Cincinnati and builds upon that today. In this 2 o'clock start game, I'm taking Bryce Harper over 1.5 total bases in Cincinnati against Hunter Green and the Reds. We move on now to our 4th best bet of the video. We go to our daily Nerfy. Yesterday, the Nerfy hit. We took a chance yesterday going with the Colorado Rockies Nerfy, and it hit. Rockies, St. Louis Cardinals. It was a 3-0 win, believe it or not, for Colorado. Kyle Freeland pitched an absolute gem. We were a little bit concerned about him going out there and giving us 1 good inning. Well, he was excellent yesterday against the Cincinnati Reds. However, tonight we are going to go with the Nerfy here over in Cleveland, Ohio for the Cleveland Guardians and the Miami Marlins. So I said earlier that I was thinking about going with the Marlins, but I can't really trust that team right now, especially against a red-hot Cleveland Guardians squad. Instead, we're just going to take no runs scored in the first inning. There were 2 runs scored yesterday in the first inning between Cleveland and Miami, obviously both by the Guardians, which ultimately propelled them to victory. Well, no. It was the Jose Ramirez solo home run in the bottom of the 8th that propelled them to victory. J-Ram's still really good. Okay? I mean, one of the best hitters in baseball, one of the most underappreciated players in baseball. J-Ram, thank you for the victory. Hit the solo home run in the first inning as well to break the Nerfy, and then the go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 8th inning to put the Guards up 4-3. Anyways, there were 2 runs scored in the bottom of the first yesterday at Progressive Field. It was a J-Ram home run. It was a Kyle Manzardo home run as well. Tonight, the pitching matchup is Yuri Perez versus Gavin Williams. It doesn't get talked about enough that how good Yuri Perez is. At 22 years of age, don't forget, this guy made his debut in the major leagues at 20. At 22, this guy is very elite. He's got good stuff, great velo, and he's 6 feet 8 inches tall. His last start against the Braves was horrible. It was. That's what shot his ERA up from 2.7 all the way now to 3.25. Against Atlanta, he goes 5 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. He was lights out in the month of July, 1.29 ERA. On top of that, a start on August 2nd against the New York Yankees, 6 innings, 2 hits, and 0 runs. I don't think Perez gives up a run in the first inning, especially because of how bad he was at Truist Park in Atlanta in his last one. I know, again, there is always the Jose Ramirez factor. I like Steven Kwan a lot as a player. He's been ice cold over the last couple weeks. Kwan's average is down to 275, which is crazy low for a guy like Steven Kwan. He's batting 195 in the month of August. Legitimately might be the worst of his career. He'll be fine, but right now, Kwan's not hitting the ball well. We just need Perez to get him out in the first inning. Daniel Schneemann probably in the 2 spot, J-Ram, Manzardo in the 3-4, and then probably a Carlos Santana in the 5. Yeah, the big out for Yuri Perez is obviously going to be J-Ram. I believe he's going to get that. Ramirez had 2 home runs yesterday as he went 3 for 4. Due for a little bit of regression for as good as J-Ram is. I think Perez is going to be able to get him. And on the flip side, Gavin Williams will be facing off against the Miami Marlins. Gavin Williams is coming off of his best start in his major league career against the New York Mets at Citi Field. 8 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. That was obviously the Juan Soto solo home run that was hit with 2 outs to go. Williams came back and got 1 more out before he got taken out of the game. Anyways, Gavin Williams took a no-hitter 8 1/3 innings. Juan Soto took him yard into straightaway center field, ultimately ending that no-hitter. But Gavin Williams' best start of his career by far. And he was coming off a start, by the way, in Minnesota, or against Minnesota, where he went 6 innings of shutout baseball. So ERA in the month of August for Gavin Williams is .61, 3.17 ERA, and again, the only run he's given up was a Juan Soto home run, at pitch 120, I believe, for Gavin Williams, was the home run he gave up to Soto. Not concerned. 3.17 ERA for Gavin Williams. He's been really effective. He'll be seeing probably Xavier Edwards, probably Agustin Ramirez. Ramirez has gone 2 straight games. He'll probably be DHing, I would assume, today. And then Otto Lopez in the 3, and Dean Myers in the 4. No, Kyle Stowers will be in the 3. He got a day off today. And then Otto Lopez in the 4. Okay, well, the hard outs, they're all hard outs. Ramirez has been a little bit cold recently, so maybe not as much. And maybe he gets a day off today, honestly, being the 3rd game of the series. Or no, it's the 2nd game of the series. Oh, it's the 2nd. Never mind. Ramirez is probably playing today. Anyways, Edwards is always a tough out. He's batting 304 this season, OBP 365. Kyle Stowers is great. 285 hitter, but hits with a lot of power. I'm just going to side with Gavin Williams, though. He's been really effective this season, and he's coming off of an all-time start and just the all-time best month so far that he's ever had. I'm not telling you he's going to go pitch another shutout today, but I think he's going to be extremely effective against a Marlins squad that is struggling, with the exception yesterday of a really good 5th inning. The Marlins were getting dominated. And sure, they tied the game up in the 5th, but they were not able to produce at all post that 5th inning. So give me the Cleveland Guardians in this one. I believe they're going to be able to do enough to get this one done. -130, not the Guardians. Give me Gavin Williams and Yuri Perez. My goodness. Talked a lot about the Guardians. Thought I was picking them here. Just kidding. -130. Again, I believe Perez is going to be effective. I do think the Guardians are ultimately going to win the baseball game, but I wouldn't trust it with Perez to the mound because the Guards just might have one of their nights where they can't hit. Anyways, -130 for the Nerfy today at Progressive Field. I trust a lot in both these pitchers, even in Perez coming off of that bad last start against the Braves. That last series for the Marlins in Atlanta was just hell all around, right? 5th best bet of the video. Let's go to Sacramento, California. We have picked both of the first 2 games of this 3-game set between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Sacramento Athletics. And we picked the A's on both Monday and Tuesday. Obviously, we hit on one of those games. That's okay. We broke even on the first 2 games of this series. That's fine. Give me the Rays today. Give me Tampa Bay. There's a reason to this. Drew Rasmussen's going. This is the rubber match. Obviously, Tampa wins on Monday. The A's win yesterday. I'm going to side with the Tampa Bay Rays today. Drew Rasmussen with a 2.66 ERA this season. He's coming off now throwing 12 consecutive innings without giving up a single run. So if you're counting right, ERA in the month of August is 0. He goes 5 1/3 against the Dodgers, and he pitched a shutout inning prior to this, so that's why it's 12. But a shutout game, shutout 5 1/3 innings against the Los Angeles Dodgers on August 2nd, and then against the Mariners on Friday. In Seattle, he goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 0 runs. His team ultimately loses 3-2. That was the Cal Raleigh 3-run bomb in, I believe, the 8th inning. But anyways, Rasmussen's been really good. He's been effective. He's going deeper into starts again. He had a little trend in July where he's only going, 2-3 innings. He's back and he's pitching really effectively again. He was an all-star, obviously, this season. Just August has been very kind to Drew Rasmussen. And I get it. It's in a, the most hitters park of all hitters park in Sacramento. I get that. I think the Rays bounce back tonight. And I think Rasmussen is a big reason to that. I mean, we talked yesterday, and the reason why we took the A's was not just the bats, obviously, and was not just Shane Baz going. It was Jacob Lopez, right? I mean, I told you how many innings in a row Jacob Lopez has gone without giving up a run. It continued yesterday, right? Jacob Lopez has now gone, 18 innings without giving up a single run. He's on a heater, right? I guess the national start wasn't a fluke, right? Jacob Lopez has been great. No, it was 18 going into yesterday. So it's 25 now? It's actually 25 innings of consecutive. Yeah, I think it's 25. I think. Yeah, it's 25 innings in a row that Jacob Lopez has not given up a single run. That's crazy. So again, he's not on the mound tonight. JT Ginn's going. I don't know. JT Ginn's last 2 starts haven't been that great. Strikeout numbers were up in the Orioles start, but against the O's, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. Diamondbacks, 4 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs. You know, a guy who's been much better, by the way, on the road this season. He's open and he's relieved this season, but splits show that he's a much better road pitcher than he is at home. Like a lot of A's pitchers, right? The players hate playing there, obviously, at least for the most part. They can't wait to go to Vegas. And it is just in general hard to pitch there. And I think, again, better pitchers usually prevail in Sacramento, like just matchup-wise, and that's obviously going to be Drew Rasmussen in this one, a guy who keeps the ball in the park for the most part. I mean, Drew Rasmussen hasn't given up... Drew Rasmussen's given up very little home runs this season. He's given up 10 home runs all year long. And ultimately, and he went through a stretch against the Brewers and Phillies in May where he gave up a couple in back-to-back games. For the most part, again, if you're able to really limit the home run numbers and the power numbers in Sacramento, you're going to be really successful. And that's where, again, I believe Drew Rasmussen and the Rays are going to be successful tonight. I don't, both these lineups, I think the A's still have the better lineup, I think. I like Kurtz, I like Shea, I like Rooker. I know Lawrence Butler grounded into a big double play yesterday, but ultimately got it back in the 4th inning. It's fine. Yes, I think the A's lineup is slightly better, but I like the pitcher tonight out of Tampa Bay. And yeah, the Rays lineup yesterday really underperformed. They had, 5 hits all game long, 4 hits all game long, and 2 of those were by Brandon Lau. I think they'll be all right. I think Caminero has to bounce back. He went 0 for 4 yesterday. Christopher Morel, I don't know. I haven't seen anything good out of Christopher Morel this season. I don't know why Ha-Seong Kim is batting in the leadoff spot. I don't get that. Ha-Seong Kim in 2025 is still batting leadoff. He's batting 188 this season. He's only 29? How did this dude fall off so quickly? That's crazy. I mean, this dude had that's insane. This dude had a 5.8 WAR in 2023. What? How did this happen? Anyways, he stole 38 bases in 2023. That's crazy. So maybe the Rays still see it with Ha-Seong Kim, who wasn't that great last year for San Diego. But anyways, I'm going Rays money line today in Sacramento against the Athletics. Again, pitching decides everything for me in Sacramento because, again, yes, hitting's a big factor at Sutter Health Park. It matters who's throwing the baseball. I like Rasmussen more than I like Ginn. I think the Rays get the final game of this 3-game set. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our MLB predictions here, MLB Best Bets, for August 13th. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you did disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.